Good morning, traders. It is 6:40 a.m. Welcome to my trading journal. What you're looking at is the depth of market or order books. This is the Jigsaw Day Trader platform. These are all futures products from left to right. It's the Ultra Bond here on the left. Right here is the 30-year. Right here in the middle is the 5-year. This is the 10-year, and over here on the right is the E-mini S&P. This is all just trading on order flow. There's no charts, no indicators, anything like that. I do reference charts throughout the day, but mostly towards the end of the day when there's some structure set up and I'm looking for just markets to settle into a range. Today is the 17th of April. It's a Friday, so you can expect things to kind of slow down towards the end of the day. However, I don't really think that's been the case too much lately. The overnight action, we had the Treasuries gap down, and they've since filled that gap, and they are in an absolute frenzy bid-on environment. As you can see here, this is the 10-year. We had the gap, came down, consolidated, filled the gap, pulled back, and then this is just 5 a.m. It's bolted up higher. So that's what we're seeing now. You can see the ES is kind of opened. We're about 12 minutes into the pit session, and it's pretty much just kind of dropped. The ES also gapped up. Don't know if it's going to fill that gap. Gap fill is about at 2780 something, 85 in that range. So it'd be pretty remarkable if we actually got down there to fill that gap, but it's trying at this point. So we'll see what happens. You never know. But prior to the most recent drop, the ES would often gap and go all the time. So it's not uncommon for it to get a gap and just take off. There's nothing on the calendar. I think we have a Fed speaker, but he's not a prominent person. Let me check real quick. James Bullard. He's speaking right now if it's having any impact at all. Otherwise, there's really nothing on the calendar. There's leading indicators. I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't pay attention to it. And then Baker Hughes rig count. Who cares? So that's good. Don't have to pay attention to that. Areas of interest, overnight high maybe for a continuation trade. If we get down to it. Other than that, it's going to be looking at sort of fading some of this. Got some pretty decent volume. This is all printed in the last hour and 20 minutes. We got the point of control shift up. So we can kind of maybe say goodbye to all of that today. Normally you'd expect this to, at a certain point, turn around and start to fall back in. So we're kind of going to be looking for that. Normally happens between 7 and 8 a.m., maybe a little bit later. That's sort of what we'll be looking for, is to try to fade this back down. Because none of these products have come back down to their overnight highs. Once they pop through it, they've traded a little bit. We've definitely found support, and it's pushed higher ever since. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking and kind of pay attention to what's going on. And yeah, that's it for now. We'll go ahead and pause it and restart if something comes up. Looks like the ES is starting to develop a base and push higher. That might be indication to go ahead and take a short, but we'll see. Okay, we're back here at 7:20 a.m. This short squeeze just continues to rip higher. Ultra Bond, 30-year, 10-year, just unrelenting, still pounding higher. It doesn't help that the ES is really starting to get weak, but it's starting to develop a little bit of volume here, kind of basing a little bit. So I got this profile step here in the 30-year. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a shot, see if I can get filled, and see if we can drop in. Might be too late, might not. This is probably the second or third test of the ES pushing into that low area. It's starting to hold. These products are all due for a pullback. You can see how thin the Ultra Bond is. Had some volume develop on the way up here in the 30-year. We'll see what happens. If we start making new lows in the ES, it's going to be pretty problematic for us. And there we go, new lows. It's not good. Let's see if we can hold off. We got yesterday's high here. I don't know where yesterday's high was in the 30-year, but that's slightly less relevant. We're going to need some pushback here pretty soon. So we only made new lows in the ES by a couple ticks. That's good. Really need this offer to hold in the 10-year, and we need the Ultra Bond to stop its buying frenzy. Not ready to bail on this thing just yet. Oh, maybe now I am. Shit. Sometimes when you see like a flush like that, it'll drop back in a couple ticks. Sometimes. Definitely, this whole buying frenzy is definitely a reaction to the ES, so that's good in that sense that that negative correlation is definitely in play today, at least thus far. I should put a stop up here. I don't know what I'm thinking, just in case. Yeah, I don't know if they're done buying this thing at this point. It looks like it's going to continue. And we're getting up into this swing high over here in the 10-year. 2-tick loss. Just not ready to sell this thing down yet. That's why you can see these big offers here, because there's that swing high. Fuck. Of course it falls right back in. At least I could have had a scratch there at a minimum. Oi! I guess what I was saying is this is that swing high area. I'm going to look real quick and see if I have a moment to see where that is on. Oh yeah, we got a ways to go. Still another whole handle in the 30-year. So now we're off at 30. Could have held that a little bit longer and at least scratched it out. Now it's going in my favor. Damn. Might be a better trade in the 10-year today. It is 7:30. We're right around that time where things start to short squeeze starts to reverse. It's a pretty big size on the offer. Let's see if I'll throw an order out there and see if we can get filled. But we do have this profile step starting to develop. And we have this swing high to defend. I think when this drops in, it's going to drop in. So I'm going to cut my lot size. Just count on this thing falling all the way back into maybe the overnight high eventually. Just start to kind of fill out this area. Definitely bailed too soon on that trade. Should have let at least try to push through, make new highs. So I covered it. I was in at 30. I covered it at even. Might be chasing this thing, but that's okay. It's starting to stack up and attack. Just like what I was talking about yesterday. So we got filled on a 2 lot. If we do happen to get back up into 1413, I have no problem adding to this. Well, bonds are starting to go. Just need the 10-year to catch up. That hasn't been the case lately. 5 year is a better indication of what the 10-year is going to do. So tried to take out that whole bid, couldn't do it, and the bid pumped up. As long as the ES continues to hold, doesn't just drop off the face of the earth, I think we're all right. I think if we were earlier in the session, I would be kind of nervous, but I feel like, again, this is that time of day, 7, 8 a.m., where we get that proverbial turn. Got resistance up here. Yesterday's high, swing high. So that was defended pretty well yesterday. Let's see if it just gets held up today. Didn't quite stack up like I wanted it to. The fucking ES just cannot catch a bid. Got some good size on the offer, which is good, but just need that sustained pressure. That's not going to come until the ES turns around, I don't think. Also keeping an eye on these guys. Probably first sign of support is zeros, and then like 17, 18 over here in the 30-year. So if we get down there, these things, if they start to turn around, that could give these guys some ideas that we don't want as far as turning this thing back around. Let's go stack it and attack it. Stack it, attack it. Good. Stack it, attack it. Stack it, attack it. First sign of any sort of support in the 10-year is right around 5, 5.5, at least on a chart. but obviously we have quite a bit of volume that printed at 7.5. This profile step turned into the point of control. So I'm going to cover my position prior to that. Which might be a little conservative, but that's okay. Beautiful. Wow. I'll take it. Okay, I am going to take a break and I will be back. Okay, back now. It's 8:11 a.m. Still here on the 17th, Friday. As you can see, all these products have dropped in quite a bit. They've all sort of held a level like 22, 20. It's starting to run away now, but the 30-year was holding about 16.15 for quite some time, several minutes. The 10-year was holding 8.5, 9. And shit, it's running away. Okay, if it falls back in, I'll try to buy it. If we do get back up into the highs, definitely going to sell this thing down. I don't really even care what the price action looks like unless the ES just completely just falls off a cliff. But this being Friday, I don't see this like blowing through the highs and wiping me out. So if it does get up here, just going to hang an order out and just pretty much sell it at evens or 31 or whatever. But if that happens, I'll come back. If not, then it's been real. Have a good weekend.